Hi, my name's Alasdair Smith. I'm Commercial Director with Targe Towing. I'm here at the ITS conference representing British Tugowners Association, of which I'm the chair of their technical committee.
Now, Alistair, you spoke about here at ITS 2026 about putting together the British Tugowners Association guide. What were some of the driving factors in putting together that guide?
Interestingly enough, it was 2 ITSs ago, and we were hearing some very informative scenarios about alternative fuel salvage situations. And the question came up, is there guidance out there? What about these new developments in the world? We went back to the UK, started having discussions about what our next drive on publication would be. And we thought this was just going to be about alternative fuels only. Whereas what happened is we got together as a group, we realised that there wasn't really any consolidated guidance on just fighting normal fires on vessels for tug crews and the towage industry. So at that point, we all sat up in our seat and thought, well, there's a gap here. This is really important. Let's do something. And at that point, we realised that, we're going to need like 18 months to produce this guide rather than the initial 12 taken. And because the subject is so complex and so fast evolving, we had to use a lot of industry experts, a lot of salvers, and a lot of people across our wider connections, such as the European Tugowners Association as well. So we had a huge input from all over the industry. And I think because of that, it's had a good uptake because the people believe in it because they were involved in it.
Now, what would one find in the guide? What's in the guide?
We talk a lot about responsibilities, about the legal aspect, about insurance being correct to do these kind of things. All the kind of setup that you would need to have in hand before you were going to be prepared for this kind of thing. A huge piece for this is about training, drills, and multi-agency exercises, and that familiarity that crews know what to do on the day. There's always the worry that we have these shiny firefighting tugs sitting tied up in ports, or in all of the manuals and all of the emergency response guides that these guys are going to save the day. But if the crew aren't confident and the crew aren't going to be able to do it safely, then you run the risk that people might just not act on the day. So we need to make sure that people know what the limitations for vessel are, know what the limitations are when they're fighting fires, and to be ready for it and to be able to do it safely, effectively and efficiently.
Now, where do tugs fit in the process of firefighting?
Tugs are often the sort of the first responders in these cases, the harbour tugs. They're firefighting equipped. They are generally just there. The professional salvers tend to come in the latter days of the incident to take those things over. So we're often going in there acting with little information and often being the people gathering the information to send back to the shore site, to the chain of command, to work out what's even going on out there.
Now, to paraphrase you, in your presentation, you said we're fighting today's fires with yesterday's assets. What would you mean by that?
I mean that there needs to be an element of situational awareness. And I think there's so many stakeholders involved in, let's say, the ports or where vessels transit, that everyone needs to be aware of A, what's coming through those waterways, and B, what the capabilities are and have them matched up. If we don't have that good communication, we don't have those exercises where we can see our blind spots, that's when we really have